So here it is. I'll get you a better look at it in a second. I've got this pile of tires here, this box of stuff that came in the trunk of the Jeep when I got it, which includes front wheel drive shaft, a ton of motor mounts, random stuff like that, air filter housing, vacuum lines. A lot of that's probably just junk, but there's some things like that drive shaft that most likely are not. I still have a couple of rubber wheels for taking off decals. Essentially, that's all these are. I'll show you what those look like here with me, but I think I may focus on this front quarter panel just to get a game plan of how I'm going to address this glue today, and I'm going to get some soft lines for all the brakes and get some stuff put together up here. I suspect probably 3 days worth of work before this thing's about running. I've got it cranked over on accident. I didn't realize it would actually crank over. I thought the battery was dead, and I hit the button on the starter because I'm rewiring the ignition and everything. So I disconnected the battery, and I'm going to do an oil change. I think we have coolant in here. Not sure how well it's going to flow though. Just a few things like that I want to deal with before I even try and start this thing. All right, we're going to head up in the big truck here. It's still early morning under this shade tree, so it's a little dark. I'm sure the camera can adjust. Here's these decal wheels. I ended up needing like 10 of these for the old UPS stickers on the side of this truck, and that was just like this sticky residue left behind the UPS sticker, which was nowhere near the size of these. So two things: I'm real concerned when I have to take that off in the future, and I don't know if these 2 or 3 wheels I have left is even gonna be enough for all of this decal on all of this Jeep. If that doesn't work, I may try media blasting though. I may do like dry ice blasting, maybe walnut shell blasting, sand blasting, something like that, and I could easily convert this space with another tarp or 2 into that setup. My son actually found some garden shears. You can see them through the hole in the tarp down there. So I do need to replace part of that anyways. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, the best way to get that off. Here's what my plan is. Let me know if that's a bad idea. I'm mostly covered, so I don't have to worry about my face. But that pool over there was just full of water and had a ton of mosquitoes in it. I don't know how I missed that for a couple of weeks, but I got all wet, so I'm gonna go change my socks and coveralls because I'm not gonna walk around with wet socks all day. When I put these boxes here a couple of days ago, there was a black widow like that big on one of them, so I'm just being careful with those, but if I see one I'll show you. I figured it'd be interesting to tell you though. It was the biggest black widow I've ever seen. Yeah. Little spider. I'm looking for a few U-joints for that drive shaft. Oh, here they are. That was easy. I've got 3. I think they're all the same size, and I only need 2. But both of those things I just said could be wrong. I got these like 2 years ago. I have no idea. Thanks, Wyatt. Right now I'm using my air compressor over there to just blow all the dust off the ground under the Jeep because I'm going to lay under there in a second. It's a small tank, which is all I need as a mobile mechanic. That means I have to wait like 2 minutes every time I blow off a good little few seconds worth of area. So for the meantime, I'm going to I'm going to undo this light bulb right here and see, well, it's holding this chrome piece on there. I'm going to see if I can take that off. That way I can remove the sticker underneath that and see if I can do this panel today. And if it felt overwhelming, plan on like cutting the panels in half and doing them once a day. Regardless, a month or 2 months, and these panels will be off easy. And I don't think I'll have the funds to finish the project before that. If you want to help out though, check out the links in the description where you can donate if you want to help finish any projects sooner. I've got plenty of them coming. As for this, let me see if I can take it off. I'll show you if I can, and basically just remove the bit of sticker under here. I just don't want to rub that rubber wheel over this and mess it up. Okay, easy peasy. All it was the 2 screws. I think I may get some others, aluminum, chrome, not aluminum, some chrome shine or something. Maybe even like a little Dremel tool for these sort of pieces. Instead, I've changed my mind. I'm either gonna hydro dip it or wrap it in a carbon fiber. Maybe they even make new ones of these that just look clearer. I like the look of that clear, just new. I'm gonna upgrade the headlights in these for that exact reason. So for this, as you can see, it's just dangling here I'm gonna actually, I think this bulb's burnt out. No, it's not burnt out, it's just foggy. I'm gonna replace that with an LED one, I think, anyways. It takes all like 5 seconds to replace that bulb, so cool deal. It's probably how all the accessories on the outside are. That will be awesome. All right, see the grill here? Looks nice, nothing's broken. That's why I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. I've already taken one screw off the bottom, which was actually just a sheet metal self-tapping screw. So I wish they didn't use that, because if there were threads in that little bracket on the bottom, I'm sure they're not there anymore. But at least they didn't put any more on. It was just that one and the two original top ones, which are this bronze color right here. That's what I'm taking off now. I just took off the other side and the bottom one. This wrench out of my armpit. The reason being, this grill's in perfect shape, so this is gonna be like the last thing I put on, especially when I'm leaning over working on the engine and stuff. Right now it doesn't make any sense to have this perfect grill on, so I'm taking it off. About that. I don't know why they cut these hoses. Pumps out here first. I did bid the fuel pickup in here a year or two ago just to keep the inside of this tank clean, but I'm gonna have to clean it out regardless. I just screwed this on by hand. We've got a mechanical fuel pump on this, but I think I may try and go with like an external electric pump. I don't know, we'll see how it works. No way, that's super clean in there. Yeah, actually kind of smells like gas though, so that doesn't mean anything. I just didn't expect it to smell like gas. Probably just absorbed in that plastic for 30 years of use. Here's that air filter I just slapped on top of the carbonator this morning. I think this, how is that? This is for this Jeep. I have one for my truck I need to replace. I should probably do that today, because I just kind of refill the radiator once a week with water, but it's starting to get cold outside, so I don't think I should take that risk anymore and just fix that hose that's leaking before it blows out anyways. Maybe clean this up too a little bit. Outlet for the water pump is probably about this long, and I remember the hose just barely went on there, but the clamp really couldn't get behind anything, and there's not even like a little ridge or lip on that outlet. So that's a concern to me, that hose is gonna come loose at some point going up to the heater core there. It's this hose here. I have just a little connector there just to reach that small section. Man, you can barely see it, but the outlet on that water pump was tiny, or I didn't get that hose on there much. Do I have to take the alternator off to mess with that? Maybe. Is this AC compressor good? Probably not. I'm pretty sure it's cross-threaded. Shouldn't be too hard to replace that AC compressor. I'm gonna want AC in this one, so I think I'm gonna leave everything. Stock with this one. So now all I'm gonna do is check out those U-joints on the front drive shaft, and then I'll grab my drill and see what it likes to do with the decal on the side there. Well, I think I'm just a little distracted right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and try this out. Put on my safety sunglasses here to keep rubber particles out of my eye. Like I have one eye. Two things, I'm afraid of hitting these, what are these called, rivets, and just eating up this rubber blade. As you can see, it gets eaten up pretty fast regardless, but also as you can see, it does a pretty good job. So what do? Get overwhelmed with the amount of rubbing I need to do on this project? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna make this month-long project or so, and just kind of come out here a couple of days a week and spend half an hour to an hour on it. Honestly though, I'm kind of anticipating this will clean up a bit of the rust or anything that's kind of compromised by rust. I'm definitely going to take a wire wheel to it, but I'm thinking this will give me a good idea of what's there before the wire wheel. Okay, so it doesn't want anything to do with the rust. My shoulders and arms are already tired. My battery's already dead. I've been doing this for about 10 minutes, I'd say. Nope, about 5. So that's a little more depressing than I thought. Well, I don't know, maybe it'll go a little faster than I thought. That's not bad. In 30 minutes I could do a panel a day. I just couldn't do it with one battery, so I'll get a new drill and some new ones of these if everybody thinks that this is the best idea. Did I already say that? It doesn't want anything to do with that rust. Well, if no one has any better ideas, I'm gonna go ahead and buy about 10 more of these wheels. That's what I expect. That's what I think it took on the big truck. Another cheap drill. If some sort of media blasting or something's a better way to go, please let me know, because I'll just do that. As you can see, I'm covered in rubber. This isn't the most rushed part of the project. I think I'm gonna have to do something when I address the rust as well. And a repaint's definitely what I want to do, so I think I'm going to try and powder coat stuff myself. I'll just get a powder coating set up. If anybody advises against that for some reason, again, leave your opinions in the comments. I'd love to know. Just kind of just the rubber wheel or just a little bit of that glue left over. The main concern is getting this off. Here's kind of what that looks like up close. Okay, so I think the sticker is easier to remove than the sticky stuff underneath the fake wood stuff. That fake wood stuff shouldn't be hard to replace. In fact, especially since it was riveted, I may be able to find some with clips that fit the same holes and drill out these holes. So not with this drill today because the battery's dead. I mean, I could do it in like 15 minutes. I got a quick charger. So I was trying to figure out why I couldn't get this pickup into this tank. I still have to clean out the inside of this tank, so don't mistake that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get a special inside of tank cleaner. They make kits for that rather than go the cheap method. Of the idea though is that I just want to do this right, but I am going to pressure wash the outside real quick. This pickup has 2 little metal pins on it. I guess I'll just show you. That have to line up with these 2 notches right here. So there's one and the other's over here, there, and they're just bent outwards a little too much, so I'm gonna set one in and then push the other in with a screwdriver so I don't have to bend it in more than necessary. Like with a pair of pliers, if I bent it in too much, maybe a little loose, rather with the screwdriver, it'll almost have like a spring tension when I push it in and slide it in place. There it goes. I don't know if you can see that, but now it's all the way down and I can put that ring on. Wherever that went, here it is. It just screws on like that. Nice and simple. Although it's only this simple because this is a 1988 early emissions era. Just didn't have quite as good a technology as we have now. That's why you have harder stuff to take apart. I just slid this fuel tank over here. For a couple of reasons. I've been avoiding wasps today. Not just today, but all summer. They have made a home right up above the Jeep now, so they are like flying around. There's one right there. They're flying around the ground, and I'm afraid they're gonna sting my ankles or something. I don't know if it's blood type or something, but I get stung all the time. Ask anyone that hangs out. I should wash it right here instead, and I'll set that up, little time lapse or something, show you what it's like. There's this little fuel tank. Instead of straps, I mean, this has straps. This is just kind of the holder for the fuel tank. Again, it has straps as well, and the fuel tank goes inside that. So clean both those up. They're out here, and then that'll give me space to crawl under the Jeep back there and get that front drive shaft put in if those U-joints are the right size. I'm gonna go ahead and spray paint this metal thing that goes underneath the fuel tank there. I've got some black spray paint. I have 2 kinds. One's for like cast iron for high heat applications, and I was just gonna use that, but then I found this, so I'll use this. Just a normal, actually this one stops Rust-Oleum. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it right on top of the rust on the underside of that. It's pretty bad. I'm gonna spray the back first just to get rid of that scratching, and then when that's dry, I'll show you the rust in the bottom that you could probably see a little bit on the camera when I was power washing, but I'll show you up close. I'm gonna do this in the grass so I don't spray it onto the concrete. My house. Good, right? Means the paint will cook on. This looks so much better already. This last little section here drying, I just again wanted to clean up the scratches, and that's exactly what this did. Now when I install this though, I may run to AutoZone today. I think I have just enough of this for the inside. Sorry, I have ADHD, so I can't ever remember. I get distracted easily. I'm gonna paint the inside of this. As soon as this dries, I'll flip it over and show you. And yeah, I think I have plenty to do the inside. AutoZone has the inside of a fuel tank cleaner kit. I'll check it out though. I think that fuel cinder's been in there. This pickup's been in there the whole time. I'll just look. I'll look and see how much I want to clean that, because I may try and install this today. I know I have both the straps. And let me pull those out and clean them up and spray those as well, actually. Okay, so they're in this box. There's one. And the other one's in there somewhere. I'll show you when I find it. I guess we could go with a different color. Maybe if I run to AutoZone, I'll get some red paint or something. If I'm gonna do green, I think I'm gonna do forest green for the Jeep. Little accessories like that, maybe just bronze. Let me just get bronze spray paint. At least, I mean, maybe a little damp right there. Never mind, I'll see you in 2 minutes. I'm learning to be patient. All right, well, let me just paint the whole inside of this. Again, nothing like crazy on this rust. Just Rust-Oleum paint that supposedly, quote unquote, stops rust. So we'll see if that's true or not in 20 years, if this tank rusts all the way through. Most of the things are going to be black that aren't green on the Jeep. I'm talking wheels, suspension, undercarriage, bumpers, stuff like that's going to be black. Maybe even the engine when I paint that or replace it one day, the engine bay for sure. But bronze will be like the rims, probably not the bumper, but maybe like a sticker on the bumper, straps, like a idler pulley or something like that if I really wanted to paint everything. I'm talking little accessories, those will be bronze. So these straps that fit perfect in that category. We'll see how everything goes, but I don't have... This turned out fine. It's matte black. I like matte because you can't see areas of overspray too much. Not that I really have any here. Some probably a bit too thick right there, but that was a rusty spot and I just wanted to get coverage. Same thing kind of here, but I think it's going to turn out great in matte black. Again, covers up inconsistencies and spray density pretty well. Once this is dry, I'll move it over there and we'll see what we do with it. Break time. There you go. I'm just gonna put this on top of the Jeep because it's not going anywhere right now. There's a roof rack. Yeah. Shiny side down. Hey, how about this? There's a dirt limit. Relax that shoulder. There we go. No sweat. Just a little bit actually. Ooh, we're saved. In fact, I probably should have just thought of these anyways. We have our little plastic thread inserts here, clips. So I could just replace those easy. As you can see, this is bent, but in an awkward way. I'm not exactly sure. Looks like something just crumpled it from the front because it's not even like distorted at one little buckle here, but yeah, what I mean is I don't think it goes past here. I don't see any distortion up there. So I may be able to just straighten that out, no problem. I mean, it may have that one little crumple right there, but with some matte paint or something, or behind a nice bumper, you'll never know. It doesn't have to be perfect because I don't have that kind of money. All right, just stuff that I normally never have to worry about being on the exterior of our car or a vehicle here. This is not a car. Is drilling stuff. You know, I mentioned earlier, I'll just drill out these rivets. I don't want to drill these out because I don't want to mess up the size of that hole in there, but I can pull these rivets out a little bit, even by hand, like you just saw there. So I think what I'm going to do is take a pair of cutting pliers and just cut behind there and see if I can just poke it out gently through there without deforming the hole. That way I'm not messing with this original hole at all. And if the rivet's stuck in like this one was, I was wondering what I was going to do about that. I thought it was just a shorter rivet. All I need to do is use a drill bit to grab it and get it loose, and then it'll start to come out. And then I can pull it away from there. Like that. Then just get my cutters on there and pop the rivet. Might need 2 hands. Let's see if I can go down on there further. There we go. And then we can push that back through the hole. Like that, and then we can push it back through there. Like that. There you go. There's all of those. We had one issue here when I went to push the rivet out there. I actually just pushed out a big chunk of rust. So I'm going to take the sander to the rust and I'll see what this does, and hopefully I don't have to do any major repairs. We'll see what's underneath there. There's already one hole, hopefully no more. All right, so it's not too bad. You can see out on the edge here, I've gotten down to bare metal. There's a bit of bluing, and I've gotten most of the rust out of there. I'll probably just spray that with probably the same spray I used on the thing, or some clear coat. I might have some clear coat just to put on that so it doesn't rust anymore. Since the nose of this is just out of the shop here. The little overhang there. I'm not going to worry about that right now. All these rust spots, I can see a bit of bubbling under there. Near these holes, I'll just sand down. And oh, I was wondering how that got all black. That must just be from the grinder sparks leaving carbon on there. All right, I'll show you the rest, and then I'm going to see if I can take off this part of this sticker and this part of that sticker, and I don't think I'll worry about the other half today. But I will take the rust out of this quarter panel. All right, I've got a pocket full of wrenches. I'm on my way to the junkyard. I'm gonna go to 2 different junkyards because I've just got several different things on a few different vehicles that I can't find online right now, including those little brackets for the drive shaft on that Jeep. I used to have 2, but now I only have 1, and I need 3. So I'm gonna see if I can find anything with those same size brackets, and a few other things like an inner fender support and a few other projects I have in the background. So we'll see what they got. I think I might hit up 2 junkyards. All right, let's see if we won the $1 lottery. GM is right here. I just walked all the way from over there, but around the long way for some reason. They make you go. Paid $1 to get in here. Let's see if they've got anything with an old 88 Jeep engine powertrain in it. At least I like junkyards. It always reminds me of a few things. I always bring tools with me because one time, make sure I'm not walking past anything I need here. One time I went to a junkyard. I had looked through like 4 or 5 different junkyards for a week and found a wiring harness that I needed. Finally found one, and I took it out almost. I got everything out except for one last little bolt that was hidden in, and I didn't have a wrench to get to it, so I was gonna go home and get the wrench and just get it the next day, you know. I should have been hinted when they were clearing off the other cars in the area. So when I went back the next day, that car had been crushed overnight. So I always try and bring some stuff with me to make sure I can get the part that I need, you know, or at least not take my time if it's a rush. I don't see anything old here. Also, one time I knocked over a car in a junkyard. So that's why I'm not allowed at that pick and pull anymore. Okay, nothing here. I just walked down this whole aisle, nothing old. Everything's 2000s here. A lot of these junk V8. That's not even a V8. Yeah, it is. Those junk ones, I don't remember what they are, all those lifter problems. That's all you got here. V8, 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 V8. Some old 5 liters, those are cool. 4 liters, my bad, 5 cylinders. 5 inline 5s. Dang, okay, on to the next one. The next one's really sporadic. I came here first because they put stuff in areas together. The other one, who knows, but oh, those are quail. I was wondering what was making that noise earlier. You know what? So I don't know how much their tires are in this junkyard, but I may have just found a new set for the Jeep, for my Jeep. If there's more than a few of these full-size spares in these Jeeps, I'm gonna come back with some cash and see if I can pick those up. I'm like a little nervous and excited. Look at this bumper. That has to weigh so much. Oh my goodness, this is a disaster. But I love it. Holy cow. This wheel looks kind of nice. Let's check it out. I don't know where it came from. You know what? I might, if I can find 4 full-size spares today, that's kind of nice. I may come here for my tires, for my other projects as well. Even like here, they left the tires on. Maybe that'll work, but I like that Wrangler back there. Dang, dude, look at this setup. Grabbers in the back. Aluminums in the front. What are these? Those old Cherokee wheels? Not those old Cherokee. Those old Comanche wheels in the front. Ooh, I bet this thing was slick. Looked like a fun project. I wonder how it ended up here. Oh yeah, there you go. Running stanced. Couldn't handle a turn on those bad boys. What's that? Mud tires. Dang. Hopefully they were all right. Let's see if their seatbelt's locked out. No. Steering wheel bent? Not really. Dang. Well, they crashed somewhere. All right, well, I think I'm about done with the Jeeps. My last question is, if I come out here and find a slick pair of rims like this, heck yeah. I wonder how much these cost. Because these are slice. Slick, nice. These tires slice. Oh no, we're missing one. Oh no. Well, the chances we find the same tires on a different vehicle, maybe. But there's 2 at least. I'm pretty sure I saw another pair of those somewhere back down there. Yeah, here. Nice. Yeah, so if I can come out of here with a couple pair of these, there's 4. Wheel bearing. Well, this one may have all 4. Then the question is, yeah, how much are their rims? Because for a Jeep or something like that, that'd be sweet. Put some big old grabbers on that, and I wouldn't even have to lift my wife's Jeep, because those rims would be a bit narrower, I think. We'll see. I'm gonna go look at a few other things while I'm here, and then we'll go to the next junkyard. Dang, so the train goes by right there, but other than that, this junkyard's super serene. Like most junkyards, one of the reasons I love them. This one just happens to be in the middle of the city. And when the train's not going by, that's the main road, but you can barely hear it. So this is super nice. I'm just chilling. I love junkyards. Taking my time to see if there's anything I want here. Oh wow, old racing Trans Am. 95 Firebird, pretty sweet. Fastest car at my high school was a Firebird. Ah, that's really bad. That's worse than I thought. So I think I bested up the axle going around that sharp turn at the bottom of the bridge to get into that junkyard. I'm just heading home, and I may just order another axle because we don't use this car very often. So let's just do that. That was like, if you could hear how bad that was, I'm afraid I might not make it home, and I'm only like 4 miles away. All right, I made it home, no problem. But it's getting late and I'm pretty tired, so I think I'm gonna call that a day. And that's just another thing to add to the list. So we'll do that next time probably. I'm just gonna scoot this tank under there, and I don't have any bolts for that drive shaft. So that'll be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Also subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you on the next episode.